Hi Scorpio, how are you this week? I hope you've had a great week. Now what I'm doing today is your reading is from a spread I created for my tarot course, Illuminating the Soul's Path. And it's called What Fills My Cup. Now, as you may know, cups in tarot traditionally mean emotions. The emotions I carry, they can also pertain to relationships as well. But I see that our cup as a vessel, and we are the vessel. And what we carry in our vessel is an amazing amount of characteristics, a lot of our characteristics, a lot of our emotions. There's so much that we carry that we really have just tipped the iceberg when we sort of get to understand what our emotions are, when we start to feel things. We are multidimensional beings, which means there's parts of us that we haven't even tapped into yet. So once we sort of get to a point of understanding what we hold as a vessel, our life can move smoothly forward. Understanding why we run into certain challenges, understanding the modes of transformation that we need to go through. And Scorpio, you're a master at that. Every day is just about a transformation in one aspect or another. And that's what a lot of people find a bit misunderstanding about the sign of Scorpio. Because one day you can be one personality and another day you can be another personality, and another time you just hide from everyone, because that's when you need to sort of really pull back, because you're focused on a lot of the energy from you. You sort of bring in the energy from other people, and we are receptors. We pull in a lot of energy, and what we do, we transform that energy, understanding what it feels like, understanding what it does to us, so that we can use it to further our own progress in life, our soul's evolution. And that's where Scorpio gets a lot of, misunderstood a lot, because they're considered the dark ones. They'll bite you before, you get a chance to bite them. But it's only because of the energy, the understanding of what energy is, transpiring around people. It's not about any malice or anything like that. In some ways, it's about self-preservation, understanding what certain energies can do to a Scorpio, and how they react. So, and it's also, preservation on the other person's part as well, because if they come along with an energy that's kind of like a spiky energy, Scorpios just don't want to bar of it, because they know the adverse effects of having to deal with it. So it's better sort of, hiding away and not having to take it on board, and, dealing out these adverse effects to yourself or other people. Okay, no jumpers as yet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place the cards in 3 piles. Now, there's no particular way to shuffle. You can shuffle and place them in piles of 3, 4, 5, whatever feels comfortable with you, until you get to a point where you want to, read from the deck, whatever feels comfortable and whatever your intuitive mind is saying. Okay, so there's the little spread that I created. Now, I sort of haven't really memorized each point yet, but I'm getting there. So card 1 is what's in my cup. Now, very confident and wise, creative, the Queen of Wands. Card 2 is what do I need to put in my cup? Beautiful, travel, adventure, and a good balance. The Chariot. What to take out of my cup? We've got the King of Cups, and that's Scorpio there. So it's not taking yourself out of your own cup. So it's not even taking anything out of your own vessel. What it is basically what to pull up. I might actually change that wording, because it just seems, what to take out of my cup. I probably need to phrase it a better way. So, what energy can I bring up that I can use to help move me forward? Card 4, where to share my cup. Now, pondering away, there's another cup. Isn't it quite interesting how we've got the King of Cups and the Page of Cups, both water cards of the water sign, and Scorpio being a water sign yourself. In some areas tumultuous, in other areas very, very quizzical. And what supports my cup is sustenance, is support from those around you. Okay, let's have a look. I will clarify any cards if I feel the need to clarify. So just take a moment to sort of zone in on the cards to see what they want to say to me, what energy is exuding from them. So what is in my cup? Let's go to the Queen of Wands, and she's looking. They're both the Queen of Wands and the King of Cups. They're quite interested in what's occurring over that side. So they're both looking in different areas. Well, they're looking in the same direction, but there's something that they're looking at. They're not looking directly, where the Chariot is looking focused directly. So this is something they're looking at offside. Okay, Queen of Wands, she's very, very creative. She's very confident. She knows who she is. The Scorpios know who they are. It may take a while initially once they're sort of trying to work out the energy of who they are. Very, because they sort of get themselves in certain, put themselves in experiences just to experience, what it feels like. What do people mean when, they say this, or if I, put myself in amongst this group of people, how am I going to feel and what am I going to do? But more so, what's in my cup? I'm looking at the yellow cloak of the Queen of Wands, and also the sunflower, where the sun is the masculine energy source that comes down, and the yellow, and also the yellow on the sides of her throne. In yellow, to me, it's bringing me to the solar plexus chakra, which is all about personal power. It's all about finding personal power. It's sitting in your own personal power. So what is in your cup? It's to me, it's kind of like, now you've found your personal power, and what helps drive you forward in that personal power. Wands is inspiration, so they sort of haven't really deviated too far away from the traditional meaning, where to me cups is our vessel. I take it as our vessel here. You've got red lines at the top, which is very grounded. So you've got basically the first 3 chakras here in this card, where you've got the grounding of the lions, and also you've got orange of the sacral chakra, which is creativity. And again, you've got the yellow, very, very much a lot of yellow, meaning your own personal power. So you've actually, what am I getting through? Not transposed. You've actually really well grounded in your first 3 chakras. It's not to say that you haven't worked on the rest of them. The rest of them are more spiritually based. But the more you can work on the first 3 chakras, that's where you get your grounding from. That's where you get your positivity from, where you get your creativity. And they reverberate up to the other chakras. They sort of fill in the gaps that the other chakras need, because you do have the green of the heart chakra, and that's on the sunflower, the petals there. Now you've got a black cat there, which sits at the front. A lot of people say it's your familiar, which is kind of like in the witches' vocabulary, a spirit guide that's been with you, helping you, supporting you. And cats are very supportive in that aspect. They help ground you. They help clear your energy. Much like us, they walk in 2 worlds. They walk in the physical world, and they also walk in the spiritual world. I mean, they see things and hear things and feel things long before we do. So they've got an edge in that area, but they're very supportive, especially if you are also walking two worlds. So that's very interesting. You're very, very astute, knowing where you are at your place at the moment, and you are sitting on your throne. You have a right to be there. You know who you are. You've come through some difficult circumstances, and now it's a matter of looking at what is in the next chapter. And I think that's what both the King and Queen, the Queen of Wands and the King of Cups are doing. See how they're looking at in the same direction, basically. They're not looking at the front, but they're looking off to the side as if to sort of say, okay, I know there's something over in that direction there, which is eventually going to sort of come in the front of me. So it's a matter of sort of seeing what's up ahead or what still needs to be worked out on your path so you can start to move forward. Now, the second card here, what do I need to put in my cup? It's not so much that you don't have it in your cup, in your vessel, in your characteristics. It's getting a bit more energy and support from everything around you as well. You know how we sort of in everyday life we'll sort of catch up on other people's energies or whatever. This is also it's about moving forward. In some aspects, it looks like he's a little bit stuck because he is sort of, molded into the concrete, and the wheels and the sphinxes don't seem to be going anywhere. But you could be sort of moving into another, well, it is moving into another chapter of your life. And I'm getting, and it's also drawing on the astronomy or astrological aspects to get more clarity, bring more clarity in, bring more clarity into your intuitive aspect. And that's what's going to help move you forward. The moon has a lot to do with it as well, to the way you move forward, because the moon hides a lot of things. A lot of things are hidden. See how he's got the moon on his shoulders, but within the moon is the sun. Now, I think a lot of people say it's the sun's reflection that makes the moon shine. And having both of the aspects there, the sun and the moon, you've got the masculine and the feminine aspects within you. And it's understanding how these aspects of yourself work. Now, if you were to, I'm going to go back to the Queen of Wands and the King of Cups. So if your feminine aspect, I'm going to put them on the right side because the left side is feminine, the right side is masculine. If you had these in your characteristics, like the Queen of Wands is your feminine side and the King of Cups is your masculine side, and this is the way that you're moving through life at this point in time. You've got the confidence of the feminine, so there's a lot of receptivity there, but it's also having the feminine power, going by the, solar plexus, the yellow of the solar plexus. And the King of Cups being an outwardly kind of an energy, because kings are more doing, they're more action. They have the blue, which relates to the throat, but they also have the yellow, like the yellow on their, looks like on their throne and on their cloak. So they have the yellow as well, and they've got the red of grounding, they've got the yellow of the solar plexus, but they also have the blue in there of the throat chakra. So whether you're out on a speaking tour or starting to use your voice a little bit more, but also they're very internal. The King of Cups, the water signs. He's very stoic. He doesn't give too much away, and the Queen of Wands definitely doesn't give too much away either. They're very strategic when they move forward. So they're a good pair to have. You've got fire with the Queen of Wands, and you've got water with the King of Cups. So water Fire boils water and creates steam. So it's creating another energy that's going to come through to help, again, help you move forward. So it's quite a good combination that you've got there. And of course, if we put that there, them together, you've got steam from the fire and water. And what steam does, if you think of the old days, like a steam engine, that's going to help the chariot move forward. So he looks stuck in his concrete, doesn't he? He's got big wheels and the sphinxes look like, okay, do I go this way or do I go that way? In my light, in my shadow. I'm going to use a different aspect transformationally to move forward, because that's going to get this chariot moving forward. So it's not using the usual things that you do. It's using a different energy. See how much yellow is in there? So it's all got to do, and also blue. See the blue? So it's all got to do with where you're standing at the moment. And yellow has got to do with knowledge. So it's a lot of knowledge that you hold, that you're going to sort of use for your own soul's evolution in this moment. I hope that makes sense to you. But using steam, like in the old steam trains, to help it move forward, and they basically flew. Because I'm getting a kettle that's boiling and all the steam coming out, which is the combination of these two energies. Now, where to share my cup? Because you have this knowledge of transformation, and you're starting to maybe talk it out, you're starting to speak it out, you're starting to tell people about these things and not feel so, you're not putting yourself in the back anymore, just listening to other people when they discuss things about energy, transference, transformation. You're now starting to bring your opinions forward. And I think that's where you're sitting in your personal power, and you're sitting in your personal power now. And I think you feel it's the right time now to start moving forward. And this is why you're sort of creating opportunities for yourself to be able to get yourself out there. See, she's got a lot of blue around her as well. See, you've been in the grey area too long. But there's a lot of blue. So either you've been doing a lot of writing or you've been doing a lot of speaking. Because where to share my cup? Here's the Page of Cups. Now, Page of Cups is beginning to understand the energy that he holds. The fish in there is an everlasting icon of evolution. And the fish swims in the water, which is within our own consciousness, our intuitive consciousness. So he's looking at the fish. See all the blue around him as well? Now he's fairly well grounded with having the red on there. And also brown boots being the grounding in the earth. So he's pretty earthy, he's well grounded. And he's asking his intuition where to share this knowledge, where to take it now. So whether it is into writing, speaking, it's just going to be an interesting journey that you're on. You have closed a chapter, and you're now coming into a new chapter. And I think that's something to say for a lot of star signs at the moment. Sorry, there was just a big bang outside. Let's shut that door. A lot of star signs where we're sort of now coming into 2026, and what all the work that we've done through 2025, 2026, this doorway into 2026 has created a new chapter in our lives. Now, what supports my cup with sustenance? There's a lot of blue again, so it's speaking. It's having people around you. It's being with a group of people with like minds, because there you're going to get a lot of growth. There's a heart chakra there, and you're sitting on your heart basically. It's a horse there. It looks like a horse. But if we take this into, relating to the chakra. There's the yellow there, yellow slip poking out. You are well grounded with your red cape, and the green relates to the heart chakra. So what you're doing, you're now moving forward with your heart. You're not moving forward with, just because you feel you need to, or because you can. You're doing it now out of love. There's a bigger love come through, and you're starting to feel it now, and you're starting to get the support around you. And that's one place where, where do I share my cup? Where do I share my knowledge? Where do I share parts of me where I feel safe? Because I've done the work. I've done quite a lot of work. I mean, there's always work that needs to be done. It's just a never-ending cycle. But now you're feeling supported. Now you're feeling grounded. And now you're doing it out of the love of what you want to do. Now, I don't feel that I need to sort of clarify any cards at this point. But it was a pretty good reading, I thought, Scorpio. You're definitely going places this year. So it's not a matter of, where it's always been just hold on and enjoy the ride. This is now, it is, hold on and enjoy the ride, but not how it has been previously. But it's now you're directing the ride. You know what you need to do. You know what you want to do. Because you have a lot of answers that can help a lot of people. And you're very proud of it. Be proud of yourself. Be so proud of yourself, but not too much. Don't let the ego get in the way. And I think you know what that feels like nowadays. But be proud of yourself that you've come this far, because a lot of people, keep Scorpio pinned in that box because they sort of belong in the underworld and they're very dark and don't know, they're very dark and scary, but they're not. They're the most wonderful human beings that you could ever come across. So I hope that's helped you, Scorpio. I hope you've enjoyed the read. Please like or subscribe. And even if you don't, that's fine, because I'll still be putting, videos up. Whatever I get called to do by spirit, I'll be putting videos up. Visit my website. The link is in the description box if you'd like to do the Illuminating the Soul's Path Tarot course, which goes through the different suits of cards. I learned tarot twice. The second time it spoke to me in a totally different way. And I combine Reiki in with the cards as well. So if you're interested in that, visit my website and have a look, and hopefully we can join together and do the course. If not, have a great week, and I'll see you soon. Bye.